What is up? Bleeding Blue Podcast, episode 30. 30. We have
Mm,
made 30 episodes
wow.
of the pod. That's pretty insane. Give us a little round of applause right there. Pretty incredible. But yeah, we had a fun week. Sorry about the delay. Just some work schedules that conflicted with us. But yeah, we're back at it for episode 30.
Mhm.
Ryan, what did you get up to this past weekend? What did you do for the May long week, bro?
Work, a lot of work. I've been working for a fencing company. So we just been doing this one guy's house, and took a long time because this guy we had to basically cover most of his backyard. So, but it was good. It's good work. People are really nice. So it's fun time. It's fun times working for a fencing company. It's good. Got some sun. Great weather. Yeah, other than that, just chilled, watched some of the PGA Championship, um, golf this weekend, one of the majors. Yeah, that was basically it. Saw some fireworks.
Nice.
Time. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I did just worked all pretty much on the Saturday and then had Sunday off and then just hung out with the fellas and got up to some shenanigans, some fireworks, sticking them to or holding them. One of my buddies like decided to light a firework and hold it like a cherry bomb and it just exploded
Right.
right in his hand because he thought it just
Nice.
up rather than so yeah,
Yeah.
pretty it was pretty
You,
sketch at
did
that.
you damage? Did you damage his hand or
He was chilling. He was chilling.
no?
Invincible, bro. He's
That's lame.
yeah. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes. You
Yeah.
somehow manage to get through light near death situation. That's why they're called near death.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's talk. We got some Leafs talk to discuss, right? We got a little
Hmm.
bit of a coaching change after Mr. Keefe, after Mr. Queef was relieved of his duties. We have Mr. Craig, am I pronouncing this right? Berube?
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. Berube as the new head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. And to be honest, I think it's a little underwhelming. Yeah, he's a champion, but like other than that 1 year, he didn't make the playoffs once, other than the year that they won the Stanley Cup. I don't know what that says. Does it say every time he makes playoffs, he's going to win? Is his winning percentage in the Stanley in the playoffs or is 1,000% or 100%? What
That's
is
good. That's
yeah,
what the Leafs need, right? But I think the reason why they brought him in is due to the fact that he can toughen up his players. I saw a video. I've been seeing a video on Instagram of the comparison of pep talks between Keefe and Berube. I think also the fact that this Berube pep talk was Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final kind of discourages Keefe from saying, let's have fun, even though it was a Game 7, it still doesn't look good for Sheldon because you know you can't just go out and say to your players, you know what, let's just have fun, let's let's just go out there and relax, take a deep breath, like because that's not what you're supposed to do, right? You're supposed to be pushing yourself to the limits to get the win, right? And I think that's what Keith kind of lacked for giving his team uh a chance to get through to the at least the conference finals, which they didn't do with him. So and haven't done since 2002. But I think Berube could be a different change to the locker room, and hopefully it brings some new grittiness to the team and some grit. And yeah, I hope that changes for the better. This coaching decision.
no, understood. Like I was gonna say that yeah, like I think that he came out earlier today saying that he's excited to work with this core and work with this team, I guess you could say. And I don't know how I feel. Like, what do you think? Like, do you think
Well, in my opinion, it only works when we get to April next year. I don't really, unless we miss the playoffs, um, then I don't see it being a massive change from Keefe. As long as we make the only way that I can see a change from Keefe to Berube is how we do in the playoffs. So I think that's the only real difference maker with this team when it comes to the coach. I think the only way that we can see, like I said, the only way I think we can see change is when we get to April and see how we perform in the playoffs, whether it be against Boston or Florida or or Tampa, whatever. Even if we win the President's Trophy next year, that doesn't matter in my eyes. It matters how we perform in the playoffs. Um, because you can win that you can play like the best like a couple years ago with Boston. You can play the best regular season of all time. You can get knocked out in the first round. And
Yeah,
all that matters is the playoffs, dude. So um we'll wait and see how it goes, but I think the only way I can see some change is when we get to the first round next year.
fair enough.
Yeah.
Understood.
So
Yeah,
that's my opinion on it. I
yeah.
think anyone could have gotten the job, but I think it's more important that that change that is necessary comes in the playoffs and not just you know better success in the regular season and then losing in game 7 again in the first round. So
Yeah.
those are my thoughts.
Interesting. No, I also just wanted to say that I think made a mistake in saying that he didn't make the playoffs other than the other year he did. The Berube with the
Hmm.
Flyers and the not the Jazz, Blues. The
Yeah,
Louis Blues. So he is, yeah, so he's had some good teams with them, and he's managed some good teams as well. He's coached some good teams. He has the experience. Yeah, he's got that experience of and he's got a cup under his belt. So that's something that this team needs.
hmm,
Experience as well. Keith did not have that. Mr. I don't know what Randy Carlisle like had before that either. Like I'm trying to think of like what how he was as a coach. And like Babcock
yeah,
also was pretty good as well. Like he had some experience, but he's just a locker room cancer, you know. So
yeah,
thank God he didn't get hired again. But yeah, no, that's
yeah. I think Babcock is going to stay in the. I think he's coaching NCAA
is
right
he?
now.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, or at least that's what I remember. Like him getting job offers for. I think he was offered to coach
Yeah.
Michigan, Michigan team, but I think I don't think he's there anymore. But I just think it's just you know that like I said before, we're only going to see change in the playoffs, not in the regular season, because we've consistently made the playoffs for the last 8 years. The regular season doesn't matter in my eyes anymore. Yeah, you can play insanely well, but it all depends on how you look at the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we'll just see. We'll see in April next year, and then we'll discuss.
Fair enough. Yeah. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Um, all right, let's continue. Let's move on. Let's get away from these Leafs because honestly, I think we need a little break from them anyway. Do we want to start off with the Leafs talk or the Jays talk, or do we want to do our top five first before we do Jays?
You know what? Let's do the top five.
All right.
Usually when we do this format, we usually do the top five in the middle. So let's start with that off.
Okay. So
You want to introduce it,
yeah,
or do you
I'll
want me to?
introduce it. So what
Okay.
we will be doing for our top five this week, we are going to be doing top five all-time athletes to watch. Top five athletes to watch, athletes that we absolutely just make the sport what it is, make the sport enjoyable for us. If I could put it that way, you know, it's the players that are the superstars, I guess. Maybe, some maybe not, but that is what our list will be. For my list, it's not gonna be that diverse when it comes to sports because again, I don't think I watch enough sports, other sports per se, like basketball or football, hockey, to really have people that I go, wow, those are some insane athletes to watch because
Mhm.
it's in our opinions, I guess. So this is in our opinions. So who wants to go first? You or me? What are we thinking?
You can go first. I just wanted to make it clear. Are we doing any sport? Are we doing like limited?
I
Are we
was just gonna
limited to?
say NFL, hockey, and baseball.
Okay. All right. Like just like the jerseys, because we don't really talk about We don't really talk about basketball or any other sport other than football, baseball, and hockey. So we're just gonna stick to that niche for now. Yeah, you can start off, Ryan.
Yep. All right, number 5. I'm going with Mr. Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani
Mhm.
has to be one of the greatest athletes to ever, maybe the greatest athlete of all time. The fact that he can pitch at a superior level like Garrett Cole and can hit to a superior level like Aaron Judge is one
Mhm.
of the most absurd things. There's nothing like this type of player in any other sport. Maybe because baseball is just such a diverse sport in the way it's played, as you have pitchers and you have batters, and Otani does both, which is one of the most ridiculous things in the entire world.
Mhm.
The fact that he can do this, he's an absolute beast, and now he's with the Dodgers, and he's absolutely insane, leading the league in average. I'm not sure home runs. He has a ton of home runs. He's like 13 home runs,
Mhm.
OPS, slugging, on base percentage. He's just an elite hitter. And when he can pitch again, my God, it's
Mhm.
crazy. And he's just one of those insane players that you have to watch. You have to be there to see him because
Yeah.
it's like I think of him like I remember I've been at the Jays game when he's there. It's like he's a god. You look up to him, you're like, oh my gosh, this guy is an actual insane professional athlete.
A good word going around. He has insane aura. Otani has insane aura. Let's be
Yeah.
real. Insane aura.
Yeah, I know. And you might not think that because of, his different cultures, I guess you could say, like comparing the aura to different auras and around the league. But
Mhm.
Otani, he's a scary man. You don't want to see him up at the plate because he's Barry Bonds-esque, He's somebody that's just he does damage. He does damage.
Mhm.
He's an insane player to watch. Number 4. Should I just keep going to number
Yeah,
1? All right,
go
number
ahead.
4. I got 2017 playoff George Springer. That dude was
Oh,
an.
you're going specific.
I
Okay.
just went specific because
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That works.
2017 playoff George Springer was an absolute beast. There
Mhm.
is a video of him just hitting absolute moonshots at Minute Maid Park, and
Yeah, no wonder. I wonder why, right? I wonder why he hit all those moonshots.
maybe because he's a really good player.
Or maybe because he's a cheater.
Maybe because he's not a cheater.
All right, keep going, keep going. Sorry.
And he was an absolute beast that year in the playoffs, especially in the World Series, the final playoffs in the World Series. Absolutely just destroyed balls. He had like a 350 average, and there's this one video in particular that makes me almost like bust because it is a video. He gets this 96 mile per hour fastball right at the top of the zone and just absolutely crushes it. I've never seen a baseball hit like that before. It was insane. It sounds like a shotgun. And if you watch that game, I think it was game 5 or 4 of the World Series. Do yourself a favor, go watch that entire game. It's crazy. It is one of the craziest
Yeah.
games of all time. Go check that out.
Mm,
Anyway, George Springer, number 4, 2017 playoffs. Number 3, 2022 playoff Bryce Harper is one of the
mm,
electric, electric players of all time. Bryce Harper is he's he's somebody that sells out crowds, I think. And
yeah.
he's an electric player. He's so much fun to watch. He wears his heart on his sleeves, and you love that in the game of in sports in general and in the game of baseball because he's an emotional player and you love to see that. It's fun to watch. I love watching those types of players. Um, and Bryce Harper is absolutely electric. And then that 2022 playoffs, he came out as a captain. He's the captain of this Phillies lineup, I'd say, and he came out and showed him who's boss. He was absolutely clutch situations. Game 6, NLCS, hitting a opposite field 2-run blast, go ahead home run off Robert Suarez in the bottom of the 8th inning. Insane, electric. This guy just constantly hitting home runs and was just elite for that team. And what allowed them to get to the World Series. He was the NLCS MVP, very well deserved. So much fun to watch. A great year for playoffs, definitely in 2022.
You see the video of him at the doorstep of this
I did see
for the
that, yeah.
prom? That
Bro,
was
what
pretty
an
cool.
electric dude, bro. He's what a down to earth guy. He's why, he's exactly the type of role model that this league needs, I'd say, is like
Hmm.
Bryce Harper, who's just electric, just an all around good guy. Yeah, loves the fans, loves Philly, and I
Hmm.
think Philly obviously appreciates that. That's a great city to root for sure. And
Yeah.
their team this year is so good. I mean, Bryce Harper is so good this year as well. Um, and number 2, 2022, Alek Manoah. Alek Manoah,
Hmm.
who was absolutely electric. Pitched to a 2.24 ERA, just absolutely shoved against all the best teams, especially his month of September, where he came in and was absolutely electric. Too bad he fell off a little bit, but we'll get into more because
Hmm.
telling me that this guy might be back. I don't know. A couple of really good starts in a row, but 2022, he was the ace of this rotation, and just absolutely electric. So many good memories of him pitching, like just like especially that month of September in 2022, had some insane starts.
Hmm.
Number 1, I got 2024 playoff Mitch Marner. Playoff was the most electric. No, I'm just kidding. Number 1, I got 2021 Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Maybe the most fun I have seen and watched baseball. That guy is something special. A generational talent, generational hitter. His 3 home run game off Max Scherzer. His Corbin Burns home run at the All-Star game. 48 home runs, 188 hits, 311 batting average, leading the league.
Hmm.
Yes, slugging, on base percentage, all that, all the stats. He was just so good, just so good. He
Hmm.
he absolutely had an incredible year that year, and I think he's slowly starting to come back into his self. I think but 2021 Vlad was something special. Just something special. Like that meme of what's his name? What's the head of the WWE, Reese? Was special.
Oh, McMahon.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it was special. And that's what it was.
Hmm.
2021 Vlad was special. There you go. All baseball.
So boring. Such a boring list. All right, give me your honorable. Give me your honorable mention. Right now.
Austin Matthews.
Okay, good pick. All right, at least you added another league into your top 5. Okay, I'm just gonna start. I'll say my honorable mention at the end. Number 5, give me Patrick Kane. Probably the most electric. One of the most electric hockey players of our generation. Um, guy is probably he's going to go down. I think Matthews will be coming close, but I think he's the best American player of all time. Patrick Kane, guy could fucking make any play he wanted to when he at any time. Won 3 cups with the Blackhawks. He's kind of dwindled his career a little bit after he left there, but still one of the best players ever, I think, in my opinion. Even though I'm not a Blackhawks fan, you got to respect the guy. The guy was fucking electric to watch. I'm gonna go at number 4. Only NFL heads will appreciate this one. Give me LaShawn McCoy. He was the Bills running back for a few years, just before Josh Allen was there. With he had one of the best. He was the reason why I became a Bills fan. Um, he was so electric It was unreal. Before he was at the Bills, he was with the Philadelphia Eagles, and he was second in Offensive Player of the Year voting, 1,600 rushing yards. He led the league in attempts, yards per game, over 100 yards a game. He was with Buffalo for only 4 years, but 2 years he had over 1,000 rushing yards. Basically led him and the defense. They led to a playoff berth in 2017. He was basically the only offense the Bills had those years, but he was my favorite player in the league at the time. So I'm going to go with Sean McCoy for electric. At number 3, give me Pavel Datsyuk. I'm telling you, man, you want to talk about silk? This guy was unreal, man. I'm telling you. A lot of hockey heads will come out and say that was a nasty pick. You're right, because Pavel Datsyuk was electric, dude. Him and Patrick Kane are like literally right there for me. Even though I'm not a Detroit fan, never been. He's just so good, man. If you just go to YouTube, watch a Pavel Datsyuk highlight reel. You'll want to watch it over and over and over again. Like, the guy was fucking awesome to watch. Sorry. He was amazing. Pavel Datsyuk, one of my favorite NHL players ever. At number 2, I'm going Phil Kessel. He's the reason why I'm a Leaf fan. Phil Kessel, just absolute electric. Guy was mashing hot dogs before every game, just potting 30, 40 goals a season. Absolute tank. This guy, Phil Kessel, was. I think any Leaf fan can agree with me on this, because Phil Kessel he was that man in Toronto when he was there. He was 2012, 2013 season when we played Boston in that first round. He was awesome. He was the best player on the ice, in my opinion, in that series. Undoubtedly. And then at number 1, the man who's right above me right here, give me Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Best, I think it's, people are going to hate me for this, but he's the best quarterback in the league. Put Josh Allen on the Chiefs right now. They're four-peating with Josh Allen. I'm sorry. Mahomes, you can say Mahomes all you want, but just in my opinion, he's the epitome of a football player. Yeah. Guy can fucking do anything. That's why he's the GOAT. So I'm putting Josh Allen at 1 in my list. Honorable mention for me, I'm going to spice a little baseball in there. Probably my favorite player growing up on the Jays. He's pretty close there with Bautista and Donaldson, but I'm going to go with Edwin Encarnacion. Nice. The parrot on the arm after the home run. Electric. Guy was electric. ALDS Game 5 against the Rangers, when he hit that home run, I was going crazy. That was a lit moment. Yeah, give me Edwin as my honorable mention. I think he's just incredible. Just hit bombs, dude. Just hit bombs. So I'm gonna go with Edwin. Nice. So that's my list.
Love it.
If we dabbled in a bunch of different sports, it would definitely be more diverse. I'd probably say like Eden Hazard for Chelsea. Probably my favorite soccer player growing up. I'd put him on the list, but we're gonna stick with the sports.
I don't know soccer, and if I would do basketball, I might do Wembanyama or whatever the fuck his name is.
Really?
Yeah,
dude, the guy's been in the league for 1 year.
He's electric though, bro. He's insane.
You wouldn't put like DeMar DeRozan or Kawhi Leonard during that championship run, or even Fred VanVleet, I'd put over Wembanyama. Yeah, but Jokic is kind of I wouldn't say he's boring, but like he has a
from Despicable Me, bro.
So that's why he's an electric player to watch, because it's Gru on the basketball court.
Or Doncic or whatever the fuck.
Doncic. Oh yeah, that's a good pick. He's very good.
He's good, but
very good player.
Yeah, there's a bunch of players in the NBA that are I don't watch enough NBA to know. I just know that they're good. I know these players are good.
Anthony Edwards right now. Yeah, that's an electric player to watch.
The Timberwolves they've been good. The Knicks just got kicked out. Poor Frank the Tank. I feel bad for him because they were up in the series at one point. They up 3-2, I think it was.
They were up 2. I think they were up. Yeah.
3 to
They were
2.
up 3-2, and they lost the. Well, the only reason why is because of the injuries. The injuries kind of fucked them over.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was a fun series to watch. I kind of watched a little bit. But yeah, Anthony Edwards right now is probably the best player left in the playoffs. He's the real deal.
Fair enough.
That guy's the real deal.
Fair
All right,
enough.
let's get into some Jays talk here.
Let's talk about these Jays, man. Let's talk about the series against Tampa Bay Rays on the long weekend. The Jays went 1-2. Still have yet to win a series in, I don't know,
A
fucking
month.
weeks, a month. I don't know what it is, but it's terrible. And we can take a look at their schedule and results. It hasn't been good. But, anyways, they have just been absolutely shitting the bed. Kansas City, they lost a series. Last series they won was April 20th, literally a month ago, against the San Diego Padres.
Yeah,
Not good.
shocking.
So this team, yeah, uh, right now they're on a really, really easy schedule coming up. Right now,
Mm,
Chicago 3, Detroit for 4, Chicago for 3 again, then Pittsburgh for 3, and then that's your easy schedule. Then you got 4 against Orioles, which is gonna suck. But after that,
yeah,
Oakland.
you got to do well in these
Gotta
games. Yeah.
go, dude. You gotta go. Say, I don't know. It's how many games is it? 3, 7,
10 games. 10 games.
no, 13 plus the Pittsburgh. So it's gonna
Oh,
be
that's right.
you go 10-3 in this, 11-2, something like that. You're back in it. Again, we're only two
Right.
games out of a wild card spot right now. But these games, you know what? You got to start playing better. Yesterday's game against the White Sox, 9-3. You got to beat the teams like you just did then. You got to play it
Hmm.
like before. Anyway, Tampa Bay Rays Friday's game, they lost 3-4 against the Rays after getting perfect gamed, no hit. I don't know what you call it. Yeah, you got perfect gamed to Tyler Alexander, who is an absolute bozo, who is not even that. Uh, and you lose 4-3. And I thought they were going to come back and tie it after the Davis Schneider home run, 2 runs.
Yeah.
Gavin Biggio gets a hit. Now it's 4-3 at Tampa Bay. Then Mr. George Springer comes up to bat, rounds right into a double play, bro. Absolutely just, of course. Of course. That's what happens. Just,
He sucks now. I don't know why I said he'd get 40 homers. This guy sucks.
dude, he's so old too. And he's been rough, man. He has not been good. And he's an old fart. He's what he is, and he's not been good. He has not been good. And you can take a look right now. George Springer hitting 198. That doesn't
That's your most electrifying player to watch. Your fourth most electrifying player to watch, and he's doubting you, man.
back in 2017, bro. That was 7
I,
years.
I it's still the same person, right? Yeah, you can't
Yes,
be
it's still the same person, but that was a year when he hit, I don't know, like 34 home runs when he was absolutely electric. He was good for that team. Yeah, he had 283, 34 bombs, 889 OPS. He was good for this team. Now he's
uh,
not good. And I just think, bro, he's 34 years old. He's old. He's an old head, bro.
uh,
So it's tough, man. Luck
yeah.
yeah, luckily we got some other guys that are buzzing, like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., my boy. So yeah, it's been good. Same with Varsho hitting a 2-run tank yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah,
Barcia's been playing great, man.
yeah,
Him and Schneider both are playing great, great
yeah.
ball.
And Danny Jansen. No, we've got a good top of the lineup right now. But second game, I totally thought they were gonna win that, up 4-4 nothing at
Yeah,
one. Then
classic Toronto sports.
Osman gives up 3 runs. Then a 2-run tank from, I don't know, who was it, DeLuca or something like that, off of Nate Pearson. Nasty Nate, neckbeard Nate,
Hmm.
was terrible. Absolutely terrible. I was sick to my stomach after that. That one hurt so bad. And that solidified that we'd lose the series. Again, it was not good. Gosman, he looked okay. He looked decent, but I don't know. He wasn't good that game. I got a question though. Do you think out of all the pitchers right now, who do you think's the worst on this team between the five that have been playing?
Gosman. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I think it's Gosman, dude.
Yeah.
Because Brios is having a career year.
Gucci.
Kikuchi's playing. Kikuchi's playing great. Bassett's consistently decent.
Yeah.
And Manoah's actually no. I'll say Manoah for now, but I think over time, after a couple more starts, I think it will be Gosman because Manoah. We'll get to that later about his start. But Manoah's just starting up again, so I'll give him the lower seed right now for the starting pitchers. But yeah, I'd say Manoah right now because Gosman's he's not living up to what he had last year with his great season that he had. But I think it's got to be Gosman right now. I mean Manoah, sorry, but it will be Gosman in the future, I think.
Yeah. Fair enough. No, Gosman's got to be better, man. That's what we've discussed. He's
Yeah.
got to be better, and he hasn't been that good. So hopefully he can turn it around and be the ace of this rotation, like we know he can be. Because if we got good seasons out of Barrios, Cooch, Gaz, Bassett, and Manoah, man, this rotation can be absolutely electric, and this is what will help us win some more games. I'd love to see just all five of these guys be insane, just insane rotation, an insane rotation. So that's what I'd like
Hmm.
to see. Next on the list, though, we got game was a winner finally. Won 5-2 against the Rays. So we didn't get swept.
Hmm.
Would have been horrible on the Sunday afternoon, a nice little Sunday Junior J day. Again, that was a good game to watch. It was fun to watch that game. Luckily, again, as we said, we won. Who was on the Manoah was on the mound, and let's talk about him, man. So Manoah might be back.
Maybe,
What do you
just maybe. I think he might be. I think he's gotten his confidence up a little bit. After getting humbled that last year, last couple of years, I guess a year and a half, just playing in single A, double A, triple A, and just getting lit up. But yeah, that last outing, he was that man. He was that 2022 self that you were talking about on your list. He was he had his confidence up. What was his outing like? What were his stats? I think he went with 7 innings.
No, he was really good. He went 7 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk. That's elite.
Wow.
I think it was
Yeah,
6, 7 strikeouts, something like that. And
very good.
I love that's another thing about Manoah is when he's on the mound, he's just a dog, bro. He's like he's fucking getting it. He's mad. He's hyped up. He's like, let's fucking go. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that shit, bro. And you know what? He can do that because he pitched fucking ridiculously. And
Hmm.
the issue with last year was a lot of different things. It was confidence. It was release point. It was uh holding the ball too long or like
Hmm.
throwing it into the ground and pulling his arm too far down and just releasing it at the wrong
Hmm.
time. And that's he would yank the ball. And so what would end up happening is he'd just get a lot of walks because of that. So his pitch mix, which is kind of interesting, is he goes sinker, slider, which is one of the most nasty things ever. Slider,
Right.
um, changeup, and the fastball. And what he used in his start before the Tampa Bay start is he used to change up a lot, and that messed up with a lot of hitters as well. This start, he's evenly using all four different pitches, like 17 to
Hmm.
25%, they said, which is great. You want to be able to flip in a different pitch at whatever time. They don't know what's coming. They don't assume where Gosman, it's either the splitter or the fastball. In an 0-2 count,
Hmm.
you're getting the splitter right here. I can't hit it, even though I know it's coming. Or with MANOAH, he's using a little bit more deception, and rather than stuff, he's using just his skill of location and deception, as I said before, and ability to trick the hitter into swinging at something that they can't hit. And that's who he is. He doesn't have the most insane stuff. He's got a really good slider, but his fastball, his sinker aren't anything to write home about. Right
Hmm.
about, but he's coming into his own self. I think again, the confidence is coming back, and you'll see that with the next start. The confidence is going to come again because
Hmm.
what happened before, he's just leaving pitches in the middle, getting hit hard, and I think I'm ready to watch him be back again and pitch really well. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this guy can do again.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm very excited too. I remember that. I remember that season in 2022.
how can you
He
not?
was we thought he was going to be the new like the new ace for this team.
Yeah.
And obviously he let us down a bit, but I think this shows promise. These last couple outings, because his last one before this wasn't that bad either. He played pretty well.
Yeah.
It's just that we didn't get any runs that game. But yeah, I think this shows a lot of promise for looking ahead for pitching wise. It's just the bats that, like we always say, man. Every single podcast, it's just the batting. It's just the
Yeah.
runs that we have to produce against these, and not these solid teams. Like we can't. It's expected that we should be getting 9 runs against the White Sox. Like that should be expected against the worst team in the league. Um, but the fact that we can't score more than 5 runs against the Rays is our division. I wouldn't say rival, but one of our division teams is concerning.
Yeah.
So I think that's just something we got to look into and just keep improving that. Schneider's job is definitely on thin ice, in my opinion. Even though we're only 4 games below 500, I think he's still like right there. After a couple, if they get swept two series in a row, like he's out of here. Let's be real. Especially if we get, like, I'm not saying this like this will happen, but especially if you get swept by the Tigers and then the White Sox again, like he's out. He's going to be leaving. That probably won't happen. Knowing, like, how pitching is kind of improving and we're scoring some runs now, but I think if that does happen, he's out. He's
Yeah.
gone, 100%.
For
No,
sure.
no question.
I wanna talk about our guy Vladdy though, who has been showing up and been really good for this team. Right
Hmm.
now, hitting 286. He's 13th in walks as well, getting a lot of walks, getting on base a lot, and had went 1 for 2 yesterday with 2 walks, getting the RBI single. You know what, man? He's been really good for this team, really solid right now. And another thing I want to talk about is just I love how, how much he cares, because I think people mistake him for thinking, because he makes a couple mistakes every now and then, base running.
Hmm.
What that is just aggression. He wants that extra base. He wants to win. He wants to do whatever he can. Sometimes you can't be the insane player that Vladdy is and be the hero. And that's what he wants to
Hmm.
be. He wants to be the leader of this team. He wants to be the best player on this team. And he tries really, really hard. And sometimes that just gets in his head and he tries to be the big player.
Hmm.
And that's, I think, part of his issue. And it's a flaw. You're right. It's a flaw. But at the same time, I think he's just really good at hustling and constantly caring no matter what, playing
Hmm.
160 games. And his consistency in playing 160 games constantly is all you can ask for, man. That's all
Hmm.
you can ask for. And being able to be that type of player is really, really valuable. And I don't think people understand that. Understand that enough about him, because they gets mistake in that, he's supposed to be this 48, 50 home run hitter like he is, like we know him as. Again, he only has hit 4 home runs uh this season, which is not a lot. And you want to see more power out of him, but he's getting these hits. He can stay consistently hitting these balls hard, getting on base, and cashing in the runs. That's all you can ask for him, because
Yeah.
you can't just ask Vladdy to be the only guy that's hitting home runs and things like that. You got 8 other players in that lineup that need to do that. And so I just got to give my flowers to him, man. He's been electric. Um, I can't
Yeah.
say he's
And
been
like yeah, yeah,
keep doing what he's doing. Keep doing what he's doing, and that's all you can ask for.
yeah, another person that I've always said is probably the best offensive player on the team, Danny Jansen. Every
Yeah.
fucking time, man. Get Kirk out of this fucking lineup now. Let Jansen play every single game. Because you can see when you don't sit him, he gets you fucking runs, dude. Danny
Yep.
Jansen is that man's right now, bro. He's that man's. And I every time I watch the Jays game, dude, he just performs, dude. Three game hitting streak, 3 for 5 yesterday against the White Sox. Although it is the White Sox, it doesn't matter because he's producing, and you got to keep playing him. You got to keep playing him. You keep resting him. He's not going to give you runs. So just saying, you're not going to get enough runs as many as Kirk is going to give you because Kirk has been dog shit this year.
He has not been good
Dog shit.
whatsoever. But you know what? It's all good, man, because we got some absolutely electric players in Vladdy and Bo, who's actually been helping out this team a lot. Like
Mm-hmm.
4 hits yesterday. I think it was 3 doubles, something like that, 3 doubles. So keep it up. Hopefully, let's these cat shit White Sox. Uh,
That's the most important thing. I think we need to. I think we need to at least win 3 of these games.
we
All
need,
3 of these games.
yeah, work.
That's very important.
Sounds good for me. Sounds good to me. But yeah, anything else, Ryan? Anything else you got to add?
Live stream. We
Not
mentioned that
Wednesday,
we're not Wednesday. Okay. All right.
Thursday.
Well, Thursday. Okay. We mentioned last podcast that we were going to do a live stream on the weekend. That didn't happen due to work and stuff like that. So now that you announced it, go ahead.
Live stream Thursday when the Jays are facing the Detroit Tigers. We got this.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Live stream is then. I'll make a post about it. I'll make some TikToks. And yeah, see you guys on Thursday, Friday. And thank you guys so much for listening. Have a good one.
And
Cheers.
also make sure you're voting. Make sure you're voting for the best top fives. We promoted our last one, and this one's a big one as well. So make sure you're going on Instagram and voting for the best top five. And you already know who to vote for. This guy.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you guys for listening.